I finished the crater noise last night. I have something I'm pretty satisfied with. It looks like this. And then as we get closer, obviously, you get more resolution on the craters. And it's reasonably quick. It runs pretty well, and I think it looks good enough. And that was the last of the archetypes that I was going to start with. So now we have sand dune like type planet, desert planet. This is like the craters that we're just looking at. Um, this is these the craters are a pre-process step, so the crater has to be a little bit more complicated in that we implement both these methods. We have a crystalline noise generator for like snowy type worlds, molten noise for lava worlds, and terrestrial noise for Earth-like worlds. So now that we have all of these, we can switch what type of noise generator we're working with at a whim, pretty much. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I want to test each one, take a look at the results. We're going to go into our planet. This thing, we're going to change. Uh, I'm doing this so that we can get a consistent look at what our height map looks like for the various types of planets. And let's change this to black, maybe? No, not black. We need something. I'm trying to think of what's going to be the most visible. So this is our slope mask. You know what? I got it. I got it. I got it. We'll just do it like this. Hold on. All right, and actually, what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a new material just for checking values on these because we want to wrap these up. So material, empty height, um, test.
Stupid food and deciding whether we would scram or pass this in. I paid $100 for this. What is that? I don't know. Is that like a how to train your dragon thing? It looks like the dragon. I'm sorry, I'm calling it a BS. I think it's too early. It's too early in the video to say not the abbreviated version. But I'm calling BS on this because there's no way you paid $100 for a spoon chicken. What kind of restaurant just serves up and chicken? Like not the leg of a chicken, not in like disassembled, like a fully assembled chicken or $100. Did not pay $100 for that. So sorry. It's clearly like a fast food type restaurant. Like there's like paper on the plate. Somewhere will charge $100 for that. Like, it's quite a cool presentation, but you know, they always sells that for $100. Stop lying. You know what? Scratch. It's chicken. It's a chicken. It's not disgusting. The triple threat is a pepperoni pizza sliced garlic knots and calzone oobleck. You know what? Monster. I would be dying for that a day afterwards just from the sheer grease of that. Like, you know when you eat a dollar and you feel terrible for about 12 hours. It'd be like that times that too. But yeah, definitely scram. If I had the option, scram. Out of ruin and burgers. So is that like fat or something? I mean, it looks pretty good so far. Is that
All right, that's looking pretty nice. Let's get the
Four cheese is elite. Four cheeses mixed together. Was that for each other? Like numerous cheeses mixed together into one. Oh, it's incredible. The four cheese pizza, despite its simplicity, is one of the best pizza choices in my opinion. Oh my god, no, he's not going to do what I think he's going to do. He's not going to pour the cheese over the burger. He's not going to pour it over. Yeah, that is how you ruin burger. At first, I thought this post like
this guy,
that's ruin it.
because we're probably going to rework this entire material. We built this before I was encoding the height map data into the mesh vertex data, and it's a lot easier to get that data now and more deterministic.
Like a molten cheese spilling over the burger. But no, it just looks like a baby's been sick on a burger. What? Is this one of those salt bakes where they just sort of like make everything far more complex? It's just spinning around. I don't know why it's that bit of cheese. It's just spinning around that bit of cheese. What on earth? What's the point of that? Just put it on the plate and then put the thing on top. What bit? Yeah, come out already done.
We're in a limestone cave, letting extreme residue build up to put finished jet dry to the test. Dishwashers are designed to use jet dry to defend against tough residues for a practically spotless.
All right, so we do this, and then we do this, and we do this. Plug this in, and now we should have our slope masking as well.
In milliseconds, and then the thing starts fucking around with your food for 5 minutes. Was he? Yeah.
Every single Italian I've missed off of the
Okay.
2023.
Was he dunked in that? I don't. He's only showing what he's doing for about a second and not explaining it on screen the rest of the time. Okay, pouring with water in the. Yeah, no, he's okay. That's staged. There's no way that guy over there is that nosy to be able to see exactly what he's doing from a distance. They go, oh, staged.
And this gives us our area that triggers the slope masking as well as the height map. All right, so we can use this to test all our different generation gradients or generation noise formulas.
This, I don't know. I straddle past this one. Okay, it's another salt base type bit. Yeah, it looks like the same sort of dish. Except without the cheese. I was going to put the cheese in now. Yes, it's the same thing. It's fun. It's the guy. Yeah, this is just lame. Lame. Who came up with
We'll
this
give it a
one?
little bit of a fade.
I'm sick that customers are really going to enjoy this one. It's just.
All right, awesome.
Literally the star restaurant.
So here we go. We can use this to test.
Okay, that is pathetic. So that's about
Let's go into.
set. You get set of little parts that will fill you up. I hope this is the case because imagine going on and go, oh, they have a carbonara. I'm going to order a nice carbonara. You get that. Realistically, there is
Each of these and set our sea level.
Although I must say, handmade pasta is so much better than like what you get in supermarkets. So
Or not even worry about the sea level yet.
I say it's so much better than just like I guess carbon pasta. Like, it does take an absolute age to make. Yeah, I would scrap that. I would pay for it, but I would scrap it. Okay, I mean that's a bit excessive with the chocolate on the rim. Do you think they're gonna scrap the chocolate off the rim of the cup? Okay, it's a bit heavy on it, isn't it? Like, what is this supposed to be? Is that blue food cup? Sorry, what is this supposed to be?
And we don't have fully proceduralized implementations of any of these except for the terrestrial one yet. Which is fine. We're just trying to get our archetypes in place. And right now we're doing that with these encoded node strings. But we've saved the graphs for all of these.
You are an absolute fiend. You're a pregnant. You would see someone drinking this and go, yeah, I've got there. That's apparently a coffee. Nah, I would not scram that. Oh, it's
And because of the way we changed our noise formula, the way that we changed the integration of it with this, we can change them out pretty easily. So we'll start with this.
I don't know. That's American dollars. To be fair, it's blue brilliant. Beef pattern. So I would not scram it.
There we go.
How much is that?
She's in here somewhere.
Okay. So basically we want to make sure we step through all of our different noise formulas. Make sure they all look good. Make sure that the colors line up, like the color gradients line up with the way we're sampling the texture and things like that. Oh, there was also, hang on. I saw it somewhere. I may have saved it.
Is it a whole bottle of rum? Okay, it's a whole bottle of rum. It's true. I guess it needs to be shared between a very large group and they're pouring a whole another bottle. Two bottles. Three bottles. This needs to be shared amongst a party of about 25 or everyone's getting alcohol poisoning. That whole thing, that's just pure spirit. Okay, what flavor is this? Oh, passion fruit. Shout out to drink. What? 2 liters of rum, 2 liters of mint. Easy. So that half and half. There's a lot of comically large straws. Okay, you know, I'm gonna have to say not scram because if I say scram, I mean I would eat the whole thing or drink the whole thing. I'm not drinking that because there is a 100% chance I would die. Although I must say, for a bar, decent bar. I don't know. It's not very practical to drink, but it's a very large drink.
So I found a really interesting mountain formula that reproduced the appearance of eroded mountains without having to run an erosion filter. And we have the ability to add pre-processing stuff now, so we could conceivably do our mountain ridges outside the noise formula.
Oh, like, okay. Maybe for $100 for that much, it might be the best steak in the world. Wait, where's the rest? Wait, what? What? Where's the rest of it? Oh, look, I gas it up all voice now. I don't know what that is. Is that nitrogen? What is it? Okay, I wouldn't buy it, I would strand it though. Spaghetti sandwich someone mistakenly posted on r/foodball. That, you know what, that looks like a ghost map. I live in England where we eat Heinz. I've got a picture of the Heinz spaghetti here. We eat this. We eat this. I spoke to a friend of mine who's not from the UK about how much I love this spaghetti. He was like, there is something wrong with you. And I was like, it is a delicacy in this country. And he went, you lot are weird. Spaghetti in a toasty with cheese. Yummy, yummy, yummy in my tummy.
I think this was it.
Probably the best thing I've seen in this. Never ordered gourmet pizza. Okay, why is it another layer or something? Two-layer pizza. You know what? Never heard of it, but that sounds like it could go kind of hard. Why is it? Is there any need? Why is it pumped a lot of air into it? What? Why is it? I guess because it's so high up, it's burnt. And I was setting on fire for something. Yeah, no, that looks awful. That looks it's burnt. It's burnt. No, I'm not scrap. Capri salad I purchased from a pizza place.
That is cool.
The review first. You scam. I would still scrap it. I wouldn't buy it, but it is just tomatoes and cheese and spinach. Sure, something other than that. Is that very spinach? I mean, it's some leaves of some description. Yeah, I'd scrap it. It's simple, basic food. The she rocks up with a bucket.
Oh, I watched this video.
Okay, right, this is.
Back then, it was really on.
Yeah, I've watched this. It was good. This is what I was looking at, though, I think.
It doesn't. What is it? It looks like someone just emptied a bin on the table. Not scrambled. Not scrambled. Saltbay is officially out of ideas. This man rubs me the wrong way. He knows. So he goes now. So we enjoy. Officially out of ideas. This man rubs me the wrong way. He knows. So we've got some avocado. He's pouring some kind of some cheese. It's probably some
No, that doesn't look good.
burgers.
I found one on Shader Toys, so maybe we just step through these. I found a really nice one, but I don't remember where I found it.
Not scrap.
Using all of his water bottles at school, so I bought a water bottle that he will not forget. I'm gonna go ahead and
In the shape of a handbag. I'm sure he loves you.
adorable glass first water bottle.
It's more like a water joke. You said it to school with a joke. Oh no.
Juice and some lemonade with. Then I know it.
What is it with Americans?
It's unlikely that we'd be able to do hydraulic erosion because our terrain is infinite. Or not infinite, but like functionally infinite. Our terrain's planet-sized, but it's too much to try and simulate.
Is your son? Oh no, she meant like his son who's like maybe like 18 and just stays at home playing video games. So your son definitely gets bullied to fun.
Alright.
That's actually atrocious. So it looks nice as a treat, but like some people genuinely drink all their, they can't have their drinks, even if it's just water without some weird syrupy shit.
Celebrity Point wants a $2,000 pizza appetizer.
Did they specify that? Like, I want a $2,000 pizza. That would be a very weird request to make. If I was
Pretty cool.
I'd go, I want a pizza, please.
I grabbed some organic figs, organic almonds, and sprouted gluten-free flour
Oh, that
blends.
sounds probably sounds lame as hell. And $2 grand for a big pizza, lovely.
The $30 air some oils,
Just say $30 water.
and 2 of the $30 Air One waters.
$30 for a bottle of water. So I don't necessarily feel bad for these rich people, but they're getting scammed. So if you're stupid enough to spend for $60 on 2 bottles of water, you deserve it.
I then get started on my pizza dough with beauty powder, collagen powder, Air One flours, Air One olive oil, Air One $30 water, and then give it a mix and give it a knead and let that rest for about
Fake erosion.
Air One water and folded drops, and while those are caramelizing, I get started on my dairy-free cheese, which is almond ricotta with Daffy Giant mushroom powder, nutritional yeast, and
Oh,
it's a side brand, so you can dairy-free pasture ranch, and it makes it a ton of caviar. We don't have it. MC vegan pesto with microgreens and an almond milk ricotta and some tomatoes.
Here it is. This is what I was looking at. This is the one I was looking at.
this costs really great. I can't get over how wanky it is. That's terrible. I would not scrap cheese bomb bagel.
That's pretty cool.
Let me hear that again. Cheese bomb bagel. Just put words together. Those don't mean anything. Do you mean recipe? What do you mean cheese bomb bagel? How is it a hack? You're making food. Anyway, boys, have some mozzarella cheese. And your bagels now. Okay. And if I have extra cheese. Why don't you add like actual cheese or plastic cheese? I make it taste so much better. Like, I find the plastic cheese just makes everything taste like a McDonald's. It's like just cheap. Like if you're gonna make homemade something, you might as well, do it proper measurements. Sausage. A little bit. Your harm. Look at. Okay, that doesn't kind of. Oh, you ruined it. I was about to say scram, but it just looks like sin. No, we're not scram. Or we could free sandwich at an Italian restaurant at a 5-star resort in Mexico. I would still eat it. That looks terrible. It's just a ridiculous presentation. Like, what is the fruit like?
This is the mark of a funnel. A rich, full-flavored lager with a crisp, refreshing.
Maybe I get distracted and chase this down for a bit. I found the one that I was interested in, which was this one right here. Because this didn't look that complicated.
Look, that was 16 sticks of butter. Your arteries are so clogged already on there. Is that whole time? Oh,
Alright, I'm curious to try this.
okay. Is it still a shot of butter? Yeah, you're gonna be dead in 5 years, mate. I wouldn't do the shot of butter. I have a steak, very buttery steak, but I would have it scrap. The upside down pizza is a thing. Is it? Does it have to be? What's the point in that? Like the whole point of pizza is that the base holds all the ingredients. Now it upside down. Like that defeats the point of it, and it makes it almost inedible. Like it makes it very difficult to eat. Well, actually, you haven't done it properly, yeah. You should put the condiments on the bottom, then the cheese, then the sauce, and then the base if you really want to do it upside down. Like, that's just pointless, isn't it? That's just pretentious, pointless food. I'm angry at that. I am enraged watching this. I would not scrap that. The thing with people dictating that's an interesting shift. It's what it was for me for breakfast. How interesting. It was listening from one for me to so weird. I was pretty close. That shows Mussolini was kawaii all along. Lastly, you read Mussolini certainly wasn't kawaii too. It's making raw garlic scent. You feel this? That is awful. You must have fucking stank. Yeah, pass. I love garlic. I love garlic as much as the next one, but no, not just garlic. Hey, Japan and Italy, greetings from Brazil, isn't it? Pizza sushi. Oh, okay, that is creative. The crust. They've done like a seaweed roll type thing. That's pretty creative.
De sushi brasileiro não tem limite, a guerra com o Japão, tá ligado? Sim, cara, sim.
I was straight to admit, it's not the medium that is, typical for consuming sushi, but it, it doesn't look bad at all. Yeah, it's not like they just got like a base of pizza pizza with sushi on it. They've done it, I want to say with plenty. Well, they've done it with all the ingredients you would usually use for sushi. They've even got the tempura base. That's incredible. Yeah, I think, yeah, hard scran. That's nice. Pretty good. This is a key staple in children's birthday parties in Australia. Fairy bread, bread, butter, and sprinkles. Boy belongs here. It holds so much nostalgia for me. My childhood favourite. Why are you eating like you got a stew in for it's just butter bread with sprinkles. They get you on. That's sorry. What? Everything okay, babe? You haven't touched your whole octopus entombed in gelatin. Parts of that. Awful. Like and subscribe or I'll force feed you a whole octopus entombed in gelatin. I'll do it. I swear.
Arby's is full of choices. You can get your favorite stuff, 3 for $5. Incredible value. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meat.
So many choices on Booking.com. There are so many Tina Feys I could be. So I hired body doubles.
But is this the...
Booking.com, yeah.
Hey, what a cheese fearless. And easy being cheesy. So we gotta scrap that. I'm slightly lactose intolerant, so I'll be sealed up for days. Oh, we're gonna be sealed up together, my friend. Oh yeah. We got a cooler down here, so I'm just gonna reach in. There it is. Okay. I'm just gonna reach in and I look in and grab some. Go run it. I hate the sound of that. What is it, like cottage cheese? Maybe it's soft cheese. I made it foamy. Oh, is this gonna explode? Is it carbonate? Why is it like that up and smoky in there? Very wet. The wet cheese. Gushing. No. Oh, I've seen this. This is what they do for tampon printing on bowls, right? Where they put like the design on it and slap it. I saw a video of that recently on Twitter. Are you asking if they use well, no, no, no. I was like, I don't know if you're it just looks exactly like that. So it's called tamponography and tamponography, right? It's what they're tampon printing. So it's like a screen it's similar to like a ceramic. Or a chedera. Yes, or a chedera. We have very, very lot. It feels uncommon, or unusual. It's not bad. It's not great. Good cold, milky cheese. Yeah, it's very wet. There's a better way, I promise.
Ah.
Yeah, I just needed more data. I give it like a B. I forgot we have to rank things. So I'm gonna go A. Yummy. Don't go. That was an A. That was your response. That was very like reserved. Yeah. Usually A's like. Well, like I said, we haven't been here anymore, so I need to warm up. My emotions aren't flowing through with this cheese. Yeah. So this is cottage cheese. I have a huge cottage cheese guy. I am gonna go down a little rabbit hole for a second. Stand on the soapbox. Yeah, you gotta please. Every health food now in the world.
Okay. This is like a two-pass thing.
It's like a superfood. It's so healthy. But everything. But
I'm not gonna do that right now, but it's cool.
I'm trying to think what else use. But every recipe you make comes up with cottage cheese. It's a good recipe. That's I think cottage cheese. Just like that. Just literally like that. Really? That's so interesting. Do you think about this food? I'm also dabble in the cottage cheese. Dabble in the cottage cheese. You know what, cameraman? Keep it on.
Pretty cool.
I watched him eat his own mind weight and breathe. That's the best thing.
I'm not kidding. I ate so much food. There were two of them. And I didn't make me Did you know cheese is actually somewhat addictive? Like on the same level as like a drug to a certain extent. I believe that. I can't remember, but there was a study that came out back when I was in college that we actually looked at in one of my classes about the way that your brain responds to cheese in particular. Triggers the same receptors as something like I mean, I think even perception of emotions. You know what else is addictive? Not gamer subs, but buying gamer subs. That makes sense. Or it doesn't. Where's the website? Gamersubs.gg. Not addictive, but delicious. I'm sure they won't be mad at us. That's a K for me as well.
All right, I was just curious. I think we're probably a little ways away from using that stuff. So back to this. We built a new height map.
I bet it's gonna suck too. Are you a cheddar guy? I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's kind of indifferent. Like my little slice. Slice. How's that? Oh, that's a sharp. Yeah, that's sharp cheddar. That's a 1057 right there. That's like what they use in forged and fire. I was say, well, like metal. Metal. What? Yeah, I'm cooking with the 1057 cheese. Compared to Damascus Piranha. So sick.
It's like a mountainous terrain. All right, we're set to terrestrial.
That's a B. Yeah, a little too sharp for me. I like my cheddar a little more reserved. This one's way too perfect. Wow, that's. I'm not going to take another bite. It's like Marcus, see the direction this video is heading. But we stop. We are so back, baby. Let's get this cheese. Let's go with this one. This is organic original Havarti. I didn't know much about it. Did you show the flanking words here? Yeah. It's cutie. Unassuming, if you will. What would you compare it to flavor profile wise? What else would you say about cheese? That's how you compare them. Little fraternizing in the cheese factory. What young Joe this bill was this? No, you fell on this. That has an interesting aroma to it. Very good. It's just like a texture. Those notes are mild and buttery. And it's very mild and buttery. I don't get any butter, but it is very mild. It's shy. It smells more like cheese than it tastes like cheese. Yeah, a little late now, but yeah. I mean, it smells like it should have personality, but it's just afraid to show it. I think like a C. Yeah, I go see it's just not real much. It's just like a texture. I mean, yeah, flavor. Yeah, it's soft.
Right, this one actually needs some work, but that's fine.
Aged over 90 days, organs are puberty now. Is that his thing? He waits for the son straight puberty and then he comes with their mom. Classic Corey Perry movie. So all four of our hockey fans, they really appreciated that one. No. That is a stinky cheese. Is it supposed to have the black dot? I'm sure. I think that's black.
Yeah, I want to figure out the derivative method though. Erlen derivative. Relative smoothing. Go.
It tastes that bad. Once it like really starts to aerate in there, it tastes like a spoiled gummy bear. Yeah, it's like it has like a almost fruity taste to it. Yeah, you get that or am I insane? I think you're insane.
The Perlin gives me values between -1. Take the negative absolute value with a Perlin graph. Add 0.5 multiplied by 2.
Yeah, that's an error. That's an F. Yeah. Yeah. Minus.
That is interesting. Let's try some experiments with that.
Oh, I love those. Maybe this is just crazy. Yeah, what's the best bet, David?
I'm actually surprised. I didn't think when you kind of all the cheese that I into those into a single app. Just because cheese is cheese.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I really do. Well, that's certainly where Dane thinks I'm. I don't know. I just don't think it's very good. So your lab's super sharp. Oh, that's way your.
Oh no, not good.
That's not full. Hey, keeps his job.
Let's taste like
Jarlsberg semi-soft hard skim cheese. What is it? Is that cheese? Jarlsberg?
Negative absolute value. Add 0.5 multiplied by 2. Multiply point 2.
Just use normal mozzarella, provolone, yeah, provolone slash provolone soup. Wait, why is it no provolone? It's protein. How is that possible? What's the protein?
well, we like the marine cheese because it uses
That's right. This one has a hole. It's like a Swiss adjacent. Provolone's like the most common cheese. I feel like for sandwiches and shit.
So wait, is there also no mozzarella in there?
Min was 0. Max was 0. Multiply -1. And there's an absolute value. Negative absolute value. Add 0.5 multiplied by 2. Okay, so.
I feel like he's the kind of guy that steal his cheese flavor. You find out like, hey, the most yogurt. Very different flavor. Look at this. I would say to see.
Okay. Yeah, so we've done this. This is just like our basic ridge noise.
It's got a newspaper right there. That's a shame. You want to go your as a big on there? There's like 3 layers. 3 beaker per one. That's a nice thing. I thought the cheese was. That boy. Whoa! Look, you gotta take a bite. Oh, I wanted to try real badly. This is the Bella Bella.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use mascots and were known for putting their policyholders first? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
One man's breakfast is his roommate's 2 a.m. chocolatey fizz.
It's easy to update your wardrobe, but it's not so easy to update furniture, appliances, or tech you just don't love anymore. Unless you rent a home at Aaron's. Keep it forever, return it, exchange it. Life changes. Aaron's changes right along with you.
I wanted to try really badly. This is the Bella
This is cool.
Bella Vitana. I'm guessing that's the name of the cheese, Bella Vitana. I think the former Chili espresso.
I have no idea. This was what I put on that graph.
It's
Sartori espresso medium. So we don't know what this is. Anyway. Wow. The first one on the river. Jeez, that is Zoinks. Yeah, Zoinks is right. I did yell. Well, it is good. It smells like really mean Parmesan. Yeah, like Parmesan's back. Whoa. Wow. I'm making a statement. Holy. Yeah, is that espresso? No. Disappointed. It tastes like really strong bar. Wow. Strong. Yeah, it is strong. Shower food or yeah, right over. Nothing new. It's not bad. Like I don't dislike it. It's just like way too strong. But the espresso. And really centrally massage the keys. Never wash your shoes. I don't even know where to put that.
Ooh, that's quite nice.
I agree. It's the flavor's good. That will make sense. Doofus first, put the flavor out of the one. Oh, you put it in this lump it in and it goes somewhere. I'm not playing that. Right. So if you get the full tasting experience, that you're gonna get sick. You just put it on. Why don't you stop on it? Oh, I'm the espresso, baby. I'd like to clarify those in general media. Is it better or worse?
It's pretty cool.
Coffee pot toasted every day. I'm gonna give it a. You guys can try that home. I'm gonna give it a. It's not bad. It's fine. I would want you to. I was feeling C as well. I like the flavor. Yeah, the flavor is good. You could give it to me a little less. Yeah, make it down a notch. Oh, absolutely. This is the goddamn American way right here. Yeah, government cheese right there. Damn government feeding me probiotics. You what? I love crab. So yeah, there's nothing better than a good smash burger with a crab single on top of this patty for yeah. It's really like the best thing you can do. How much protein is it? 3 grams. Sorry, 3 grams. Yeah. No. Yeah, if you eat like 20 of these, absolutely never gonna go. Just so you can really get the effect of you're not in America and you haven't had a crab sample, this is salmon. Oh yeah. And then like, I mean if you really do it, it stinks. Yeah. If you used to fold them over each other and just make like a stack of little. That's what she does. Yeah. I didn't, because I was in advanced classes. I also I just take them like this, just peeling them off and enjoying it. I can show them. Swear by this. Thank you. That's nice. It's so good. I'm glad they're still that good. And we have dressings when you eat a burger thing. Not just like. Oh right. That's right. The reason they're so good on burgers too, one, they're delicious. But also they melt so nicely. All right. This is the beginning where we've had some good cheese. We're feeling good. We're not halfway through. We don't get just begun with like. Sam, that was free crack. Who could it? Freeze. Oh. Oh, my God. There you go. You good. Oh. Yes. What the God is so good. Yeah, you buy it, yo. Try it. Yeah. I already knew whatever was coming out of your mouth. This is not good. Oh boy. I'm some good cheese. Very good cheese. I got that was your turn. Alright. Did you guys rank it? Yes. Yeah. That was easiest rank so far. Grand Noir. Blue cheese. 60% FIBM. Disgusting. What they approved. You know the worst thing about blue cheese? It's at 0.36 pounds. $8.64. Really? What's that deal? That's all like it's great. Oh, I really want this. I don't think I've ever had blue cheese or cheese. I've only ever had it as a sauce. Kind of take that gorgonzola, make it an octogenarian, and then put it in a bathtub and make it work. And that's blue cheese. Tell me I'm wrong. That's like that's funny. Like grandpappy cheese. Like when Paul Bass goes in there. Well, I'm gonna write cut this one. I might even be able to see on this cracker. I don't know this. Oh yeah, we can just pick it. I don't know. To be honest. Oh, it smells bad. Oh god. Ooh, I hate that. I'm not gonna hate that. I'll figure it. I'll figure it. I got one of them in there. Yeah. Well, that's not good. Fucker. I hate it, and I know some people get fit in it. I think it's rancid. Oh, when people get blue cheese for like news and stuff, do they add other stuff to it to get rid of that awful flavor, or is it just straight up milk and blue cheese? I think people like it. Like when he likes blue cheese. I'm really I had blue cheese at like Hard Rock a long time ago. Not taste like that. I think they had like ham and chicken in this. Yeah. They add more stuff to it. Yeah. Trash. Big M. Trash. Yeah, my favorite. I'm not throw it up for me. Yeah, go home. Is that permission? We can resell it. My neighbor likes this. I'll bring it home as a present. We can resell it. I love Gouda. Gouda is one of the main ingredients I put in my mac and cheese. I've only ever had cheese. Yeah, I've only ever had it in mac and cheese or smoked Gouda. I've never had this plain Gouda. I use more of a mild Gouda and then big boy. You're a big boy. It's not as good. Looking back, I mean, well, that's fine. Yeah. I'm pretty good now.
Maybe coworker might have an idea, so let's do.
Look at that. This is very
I am working on noise formulas. Fast noise 2 library. If I have a given set of noise output, how can I get the derivative?
You have a poor they were told to give it a certain property of spring. That's bad. With their hair. That's just like a blade. Oh wow. Yep. Don't like doing that. It will kill. But inside it.
What about in 3D? Also, could we use domain offsets
JM Insurance so great. Although
to
some may try. We're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just free
simple
insurance. And JM.
Ever since I tried in Valley Ranch.
trying to come up something I can use in the graph.
How is this stuff so good?
Hidden Valley Ranch.
It's good for great on anything. Actually, it doesn't. But yeah, this is the saving grace of anybody who brings something. Yeah, you get home and you're like, I want something to eat. You take a tortilla, shredded Mexican cheese, shredded cheddar cheese, whatever you want. That's hard. All right, here I go.
Okay, so I think we can make this happen. So let's just try getting some simple derivatives of this. God damn it. Detach. Okay, so
They, I think people in the family call it butt cheese because it just smells like ass. I think it smells good, but then again, I grew up with it. I think that's another easy A. I don't think it quite reaches that.
domain offset
That's shocking. I
one.
love it on things. I don't enjoy it alone. At least this. It gave me like a nice Parmigiano Reggiano, the high end. I made that noise like 14 times today.
Okay.
Cheese will do that for you? Yeah. I've never had it either. I've only heard of it. Yeah. Yeah. I know Ludwig uses this.
Alright, hang on. This is fucked.
Snapchat, but aside from that,
Close that. Bring it back up.
do I eat this too? Like a lot of
Modifiers, domain offset. Domain offset.
Oh, so okay, it looks like that.
Okay.
Here, this is just mozzarella, isn't it? I think it's too sharp. No, it's like a sharp nuts. They have different nuts.
Okay, and where's domain offset?
I really like that.
0.1,
I'm gonna go ahead, though. I think I like regular ones better. I think so.
negative 0.1.
You have any thought? Very. Now we're speaking of Dale's happening. Have you said Thanksgiving? I said like a legend video. No, he
Okay, so I have a Perlin noise node connected to 6x domain offset nodes.
Yeah. I'm actually, yeah. Oh, they're like really. So.
Each corresponding to an axis and offset of 0.1 to 0.1.
Place no longer allows you to things because I guess people have been mean. Yeah, they're using us. It was terrorism.
How can I calculate the derivatives of each axis?
The dogs just. So we're going to the trouble. Have you ever had goat cheese? I have. Was it any good?
There's one in here that I love. I don't know how to write this one.
Very flavorful.
Subtract the noise value of the negative x-axis from the noise value of the positive. Divide the result by the difference in offsets, which is 0.2. So noise, okay, I see. So
I'm thinking like a high B, like I'm just like just because it's too much trouble for me. And you know what? We'll just back it up again. So you know how much I like goat cheese. I love this shit right here. What is that? Strawberry? This is blueberry vanilla goat cheese.
5,
So
2.
this hurts awful. It looks so bad. You like this? I do. It's not bad. I love berries. It's like chainmail, yeah. Through chainmail. Alright, here I go. Jesus Christ. Your fat's it's strong. The fourth is strong with this cheese. You paid a mess. It's not my fault. It's the fat one. Get some flour, get some blueberry. You like it, don't you? Oh, good. I think. I've got another guess on these. Wow, that's very good. Okay, right, sure, yeah. That's one of my favorites. That's really good. Yeah, I'd probably give that, that's good. You know, I struggle. I don't struggle, I get bored between this and bake free. I just get bored. So I got a lot. That's one of my favorites. You can see why. Feel away. Oh, that is right. Easy, what is that cheese spread? Easy cheese. Easy cheese. American. None of that European shit. Yeah, we even high fructose corn syrup and microplastics like we do. That looks delicious. Mm-mm. Yummy, yummy. I never really liked doing that even when I was a kid. That tastes exactly how I thought. Yeah, I mean, I got this thing. Look, look. This one is, I want to get a little wacky, and I want to fill up the better too. Oh, interesting. So we can go back to and see the things better. Of course, of course. The scientific method. The cheddar's gonna be much better. So what did American versus cheddar in? Whoa. I think the cheddar easy beef cut. Oh wow. That's my winner. Interesting.
Okay, now I want to use the normals to smooth
You know, difference between
noise at higher
cheddar and beef what folks like a rich cracker.
gradient values.
Very big difference. Yeah, I think the cheddar's better. I think so too. I think it just squeaks it out. That's for cheddar and for American. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this there well running towards the top of A. This one hit the wall.
Derivative along x squared plus derivative along y squared plus derivative along z squared. Okay, that's easy enough. So,
This is award-winning, gluten-free, crafted in Wisconsin, RBSG-free.
element 2,
They took out the gluten.
element 2,
The blue hair also took out the RBSG, whatever that is. Oh, that's a this used to come with Yu-Gi-Oh cards before the liberals got into cheese. All right, let's get into the answer.
2.
Asiago. It's good on a bagel. I think it was bagel cheese. Bagel cheese. That you cut yourself. Never you smell Asiago. Ooh. Oh, I really like that. That's more hard. But I see why they put it on bagels in just a little bit, but it's really
Interesting.
it was a lot. I think yeah. I think it would be. Oh, first he is a good. It would be for Asiago. I still see. This is Munsters. Munsters. Was that Munster? I think Munsters. Yeah, Munsters. Munster cheese. So good. It's so good. Never had it. Yep. It's such a good. Yeah. You know, I think you'll love Munster. I've eaten so many goddamn practically. It's pretty good. You can just stop. Yeah. We should have running through this next, because I'm gonna get to know their reviews over my phone and all. I think that would be interesting. I'd love to do a line through this. Yeah, I hate wine. I like some wine. I like white wine. I drink wine. They're pretty good. They're good Munsters. There's a song by Chiodos called "Why the Munsters Matter." I think it is.
Okay, problem though, I don't have access to Food function in fast noise graph.
I love Buffett. I'm gonna give it an A. But also, this has some emotional value for that function. Yeah, it's very similar. I mean, I was kids, go to public. My mom would get the deli slice, not for cheese, and they'd always put an extra slice to let me eat it after dinner until I was that's what I do with it. That's what I do. I used to not a public, I'm trying to put like at home to provolone. That's all right. I'm doing it. It's S. I'm hitting my goal buzzer. Run it. All right, my way. We have so many cheeses. I know. Let's do the last year when I used to love cheese whiz. Cheese whiz, cheese dip. It's so fucking good. That sounds like one of the TikToks. Sarah Connors and I'm going to the big stick. It is all over, you know. Yeah, that cheese is going to your brain right away, but it. I have cheese. I have seen when I start your camera reference. Look at where the cheese is.
I did.
It's so.
You did it. Good girl.
Yes. Really? I love cheese. This is the first one we like quickly get from there. Well, I like this one. I do not like this. Those are very different. I like it. I'm gonna. Yeah, yeah. You know that. I could be better than nothing. I'm just gonna go. Oh, that's pretty good. I think that's great. Yeah, that's one of our biggest scripts. Whoa. That's what we're looking at. Boars have 3 peppercorn jack cheese. Let's get it. You said the word watching was a concern for cheese. It is. And you got something to say? Well, I am already going to die, but why do you need her to die too? She brought it up. Totally fair. That's actually what I think it's. Cheese whiz just has so much sentimental value to me. It's like the Mama Celeste of cheese. And that was rotten. That was yeah, that was what it was. Mama Celeste exactly. What is this one again? Cold Jack? Pepper Jack. I've got a big kick to it. Whoa. Whoa. What are you trying to prove, Buster? Whoa. Whoa. What's in there? Habaneros? Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, green habaneros. Oh. There's a lot. Now the videos are making sense to me. Wow. I'm gonna go. Ooh. Well, you can throw it up. Yeah, I smell. Oh, what did it hit? Beer cheese. Oh, wow. We're gonna get wasted. I wanna go home. This is so much cheese. It's crazy. Holy shit. Whoa! This smells like yeah, this smells like beer cheese. Go figure. Oh, that's super weird. That's so bad. Yeah, that's like drinking a fat tire, but it's hard. That's weird. I was like, wait, that's absolutely a fucking you should be ashamed. You know, probably better melt. I'm not telling you, the only time I have beer is melting. Oh, fuck, dude, that's beer. That's cool. That is so bad. Yeah, that's like beer. That's yeah, that's dope. I don't love it. I was gonna say if you melted it like other things in it, I'm a fan. It definitely tastes like it. Tastes like the normal beer cheese. Yeah, that's just I think it's just something. I'm gonna just give it a C. I give it a F. I hate that. I'm just not a big beer guy. I feel like I already know this in three of 60. Three. With a fucking fourth one. Oh. Yo. But you can take it. Yeah, you can take it. No, you can't do whatever you don't need, so take it with you. I've never had. I think for sure that's an S. Yeah, that's very good. God, further moving. All right, further over front, I'm flying. Those meetings with cheese spread. Huh. A lot of places are starting to put pimento cheese on the burger and the fucking pies. I hate it. It's so good. I need to not find it. You're like a burger. I've never had that. Is so good. Woo! And actually, that goddamn feed me over there. No, really fucking. I'm gonna have to eat that. That was great. It's so good. Yo, I'm not done. I know Danny said we're going. When Danny's yelling, gluten-free Excalibur, double Gloucester with blue children. That sounds like a ridiculously long family name. Yeah. Now introducing Excalibur, double Gloucester with blue children. Because it's like, oh my god, what the fuck is that? I decided Versace, it really does. Look at that. It's like a cake. Oh, it is Gloucester. No, I think if those are the Gloucester bits, I'm not a fan of Gloucester. Maybe I would like blue stuff. No, I bet that's blue stuff. Oh, that is definitely blue stuff. Blue stuff. All right, here. This really looks like a cake with layers. There you go. Thanks. It's like disgusting, but we like keep that fan. Oh, yo. All that blue shit in there, right? Blue shit in my mouth. Oh. And then the best cheese of the day, double Gloucester, first of the day. Whatever that is in the middle is, that's the blue stuff. So this is the double Gloucester. What the fuck? $14? That's see me in my office after this. Oh, that's what yummy. That sounds like it's gonna good stupid thrusters. It's actually made the family. Walmart will be taking out this. Much more else hours with him. Look at that is that's like a something like a yeah. That's tough. Very that big. Thanks. Wait, cheddar. I'm very big fan. I like cheddar. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to make my mouth. I'm getting a really good corner for this. Yeah, the Gloucester to the left. It's still in there. You gotta be left while we're cutting the video there. Actually, you know what? It's fan I don't know what that is. It's a normal type. I think it's like see. Swiss. I actually don't like Swiss. They're a massive Swiss fans. Everyone knows chocolate. I like this. It's all pink.
What up, dude?
Notice how much cheese. It's a lot.
I'm messing about with some noise derivatives here. I got sidetracked.
That's actually some of the better stuff. So, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And because of the Starbucks, I call Wolfman. I go Gruyere. I love Gruyere. Everyone tells me. Classic joke. Gruyere. Gruyere is another good cheese. Yeah, I guess. I guess I like the cheese. Old Gruyere is kind of pretty underwhelming. It's very underestimated, underwhelming. Like it's gold. We're back. We're heading up from. All right. You get the thing right away. We're fed. I don't really like fed. Okay, so this is like a. Oh yes, you just squirt it all out. It's great. Yeah. Favorite cheese squirt. That is a good cheese, right? What's that? I'm so big at it right now. I think it is. How do you think? That's not as bad as I thought it was. It's okay. It's fine. I give it a. Did you say it was go? Yeah, I didn't say it tastes like milk. You go see? I think C. I was thinking the CHO. It's okay. I never get it over. Cheese. Yes, it's the last cheese. You're welcome. All right, let's do it. All right, we got.
Wait, I have an idea. What if?
Wings way down.
What if? What if? What if? What if? What if? What if? Uh,
It's got specks of grapefruit.
modifiers, domain offsets.
What do you think it is? That also might just be peppers. That is like little pencils. Oh, snap. Mimosa. Mimosa. I mean, there's a lot of dairy in it. It's smelling like candy. Did you cut me off with this now? Really good. It's not bad. No, it's good. Right? Really throw off the texture in my brain. That's pretty fucking good. Is it actual chunks of orange or is it just honestly good? It's chunks of orange. There's champagne and orange slices.
Go. Go.
I'm gonna go see. I don't mess with my head a little too much. I like that. Now we're going. Yeah. Yeah, it should. Crazy. Man, what a day.
Interesting.
48 cheeses. I'm not gonna ship for a week. I already feel terrible. I don't feel that bad. Yeah, but I will. This is.
Wow, that's
Yes.
interesting effect. I don't know how to use it, but it's cool. I know, right? I'm looking for sometimes when you're looking for some explicit like domain knowledge stuff, it's better to find the specific thing you're looking for. For instance, there's a guy named Inigo Oh, I forget his last name. I can never pronounce it, but it starts with a Q, and he goes by IQ a lot. But he has a way of generating fake erosion appearance using the derivative of the slope, or no, the derivative of the noise to smooth the slopes. So I was just experimenting with taking some derivatives inside the fast noise graph editor and kind of messing around with combining them with the original noise pattern and whatnot. And that's what I'm doing right here with the negative 10, negative zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.1, negative zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.1. We're basically doing like a slope calculation here. But I'm not sure how to use it to achieve the smoothing effect. Um, oops. Well, I fucked it. I fucked it. Now I'm gonna have to close it down and start it back up. There's a bug like when you tab into a node that's off the page. Like I'm pretty sure the mouse binders, the event binding, is on this background grid, and it's not over here. So like I can't drag it anymore. So let's just close this down and come back up. But yeah, so I've got a bunch of noise formulas now. And I've been like kind of testing them out with this kind of demo texture here. Actually, I'll go ahead and switch one. Um, so I have implementations not fully broken down into procedural, but I have like noise implementations that I'm loading as encoded strings here for various different types of terrain. So like we'll do molten, um, and I'll build it while I'm fucking around with the noise. But the whole idea of a lot of the work I've been doing is I wanted to make these noise generators like basically abstracted so that they can just be plugged in. Oops. Without having to do anything else. So now I have 5 different planet types. I've got terrestrial, so Earth-like, molten, icy, desert, like a dune type planet, and then like a rocky, like crater type planet. And I just came up with some noise to generate craters the other day, and I added the ability in my noise generator to run pre-process steps. So you can see here in the Rocky noise generator, I have a pre-process implementation. And then if I come down here, I'm using the pre-process implementation to activate my crater noise to basically offset the sample position before it goes into the noise formula. And then the other thing that we do is we turn the pre-process flag on here. And that means that when we get into the noise generation part right here of our noise generator, if use preprocess is on, then we'll displace the sample position by our pre-process step. And then likewise, you could do it post-process, and it's just like this applies to the position before the noise applies to it, and this applies to the position after the noise applies to it. So using that, I was able to get some nice craters that don't have the same precision issues that I was getting from the ones I created with the noise generator. So let's see here. Save. Planet actor. Save. Start this building. But today, I'm basically making sure that all of those formulas still look good together. That they're producing outputs in like reasonably expected. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. So fast noise, right? This editor here you can go to any of these nodes and you can say copy encoded node tree, and that's that string that you're seeing there. So, right, so that gives you the node tree for that function, encoded as a string. So right now, yes, they're just the strings in here because to actually go and break this down into code takes a while, and I'm trying to go faster than that. But when I'm done getting all of this set up, then I have all these graphs saved. And the same way that my terrestrial noise is fully procedural, you can do the same with any of these. You just have to go find this node tree that I have saved in an instance of fast noise, and then like actually go into it. And what you do is basically create all these nodes in C++ and do the same thing that you're doing here, right? Um, so yeah, that's kind of the idea of the encoded string in there is a placeholder for now so that we can rapidly kind of iterate these biome types. Like we'll look at the molten one here. This isn't correct. The fuck? Hang on. I don't think this is the right. Yeah, this is not the right. And this is why I'm doing this. Because this is not the correct noise formula. But it's easy enough. We can just pop this open. Copy it right before we hit this max. And then come back over here. So what was probably going on is in my molten noise formula, I was probably trying to generate like crater noise or something. And testing it in this thing, which is why I'm doing this, to make sure that each one of these is associated with the correct thing and not whatever I was jamming in there to basically try to rapidly test things. But yeah, so the idea of this one is I was trying to come up with a way to take the derivatives of the slope of the noise, or actually the derivatives are the slope, but basically get a pattern that represents the slope of the noise, which is this. Actually, it's this. And I wanted to do that so that I can do this kind of fake erosion algorithm, but I haven't figured it out quite yet. This might be the way right here, not even do the squaring. Just add the original offset values. But somewhere within either this or this or some combination of these three derivatives, this one, this one, this one, we can use with some combination of our original noise to get fake erosion on our mountains. And IQ fake erosion. I gotta find his fucking name. Shader Toy Inigo Quiles. That's it. That's why I could never think. I mean, like, that's a pretty hard name to remember. But this guy's like the shader guy. There it is. All right, so this would be an example of our like molten kind of noise texture. We get this kind of cracked terrain, um, occasional volcanoes, if we can find them. And then in the lowlands, we have like cracked terrain that, if right now I'm offsetting all my terrain so that the vast majority of it is above sea level because I'm checking the gradients. But you would actually run the sea level such that there were like rivers of lava in between all these like kind of cracked, dried rock pedestals. So this is my lava height map, and then you have your areas of like volcanic activity, which your liquid here would be lava instead of water, and this would be like your volcanic crater. But I have another way potentially to do volcanoes that I want to experiment with. It's the same way that I was talking about doing craters, because it turns out that the crater noise I wrote can do volcanoes as well, because it's all part of the same kind of logic. Let's see. All right. Then I've got my ice planet. And you're banned. Get out of here. I love nothing more than banning the bots that come try to advertise like view botting. So this will be my like icy, snowy type landscape. So I've got 5 right now. Some of them need a little bit of work, but we're just kind of trying to get everything to like a baseline and then move on. Because I really want to, like, soon I'm going to be putting all these pieces together and like actually proceduralizing everything so that you can punch in a number and get a random planet, and it'll be different types of random planets and things like that. This is it.
Round one. What exciting benefits do you get?
Yeah, I saw this video.
You get to skip the line
Here
and
we
go right
go.
to your car.
Now we're
Any
talking.
car you want from Hertz's wide selection of great vehicles.
Keep going, Will.
Earn points toward future rentals.
Oh, top right is still got it.
And we're proud to announce unlimited talk, text, and data starting at just $25 per month forever.
There's a 3D value noise in XYZ. Everything is the same for any amount of dimensions. Adopt the usual notation. 3D noise function is based on trilinear interpolation of random values at some given lattice point, something like barp, 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 barp.
One technique for doing so, called fractal Perlin noise, has
Jesus
remained
Christ.
popular to this day, despite being invented all the way back in 1983. Back then, it was really only practical to use when making elaborate CGI for movies. Nowadays, though, computers are so fast that it's become the algorithm of choice for generating mountain-like shapes on the fly. Famously, Minecraft uses several layers of fractal Perlin noise, combined and modified in creative ways to get its elaborate-looking terrain. But this is one of the problems. If you just use fractal Perlin noise by itself, it doesn't look good. It looks distinctly artificial. Contrast this with a rendering of data taken from an actual mountain, and the difference is immediately obvious. You can tell the real mountain has been intricately crafted over billions of years by the delicately powerful Focusrite if you generate the entire map all at once. If you generate it in chunks, it's possible that the water from other chunks might come in and affect the. We don't know too much about the inner workings of Perlin noise, but we do need to know what this fractal term means. See, if we just use Perlin noise to generate mountains, we get something like this. We do this by taking the x and y coordinates of each point on a plane and feeding them into Perlin's algorithm, which will tell us how high each point should be. This looks like the general shape of some mountains, but it lacks detail. If we just use Perlin noise by itself, all the details are the same size. So we can either choose to have a few big details or have a lot of small details, but we can't have a mixture like real mountains do. This is what the fractal trick aims to emulate. Instead of just using Perlin's algorithm and calling it a day, we use Perlin's algorithm multiple times at multiple different scales, then layer the results on top of each other. The result is much more natural, with a pleasing mix of details. We use the word fractal to describe this technique because zooming in on the result reveals more detail than was previously visible. Now, as mentioned before, this technique by itself doesn't look that great. We could do a complicated erosion simulation at this point to help improve the result, but we've gone over why that's not the best either. Instead, the gradient trick is something inspired by erosion that still keeps the speed and flexibility of the fractal approach. It also works on any kind of fractal noise, not just Perlin's. The idea is that one of the effects of erosion is to smooth out finer details on steep surfaces because water runs faster there. We can replicate this effect by calculating how steep the point we're currently generating is and use that value to proportionately reduce the effect of smaller layers. The steeper a point is, the weaker the smaller details will be. The way we figure out how steep a point is with a math tool called the gradient. The gradient at a point has a very technical definition, but it's effectively a vector that tells you which direction will take you uphill from that point. Its magnitude also tells you how steep the point is. It's effectively the higher dimensional cousin of the derivative, which is also something that tells you how fast and in what direction a function is increasing. In fact, the way you calculate the gradient is by finding multiple different derivatives. Recall that vectors have multiple components telling you how far the vector points in a particular direction. To find the gradient, we just have to find the derivative in each of these directions and collect those values into a vector. The resulting vector will then point in the direction that increases the fastest, since if a particular direction increases faster than another, the corresponding derivative will be higher, making the gradient point more strongly in that direction. Now, there are two main ways to calculate derivatives in computer graphics. One is a universal method that works well enough on just about any kind of input. It's called the finite difference approximation. It basically takes the definition of the derivative that you would learn in a calculus class and turns it into code. Specifically, to find the derivative of this function using this approximation, we find its value at the current point, and then find its value at a point slightly to the right. The derivative is then calculated as the slope of the line passing through these 2 points, which is the difference between the values over the distance between them. We define it this way because the slope gets higher as the point gets steeper. In ideal math land, we can use the limit to find what happens as this.
Wait, does that mean I only need one sample? Like, seems like I should be able to... Yeah. Yeah, so I don't need this at all, right? That's good. That saves a lot of computation. Seems fine.
This distance gets closer and closer to 0. But computers don't have infinite resolution, so we pick a small but finite number for the distance instead. Hence the term finite difference approximation. We pick it small enough to not skip over important details of the function, but big enough so that the limited resolution of computer numbers doesn't become a problem. When we use this technique to compute a gradient, we find a value at the point we want the gradient of, as well as 2 other points extending a small amount along the x and y axes. After some simple arithmetic, we have our gradient. The downside of this method is that you have to calculate the value of the noise function at 3 different inputs, which is a lot to ask if your noise function is expensive or if your performance budget is small.
Yep.
It's often harder, but sometimes more performant to use an analytical approach instead.
All right, this
Rather
is what
than
I'm
approximating the derivative at a point, we find an exact mathematical equation for the derivative, then simply evaluate that equation as needed. Oftentimes, the equation for the derivative shares similarities with the original equation, meaning that if we happen to be calculating the original function anyway, we already have most of what we need to calculate the derivative. The blog post I mentioned gets into a lot more detail about how exactly to find this equation for a couple different types of noise, so if you want more detail about that, I'll leave a link. Suffice to say, this version involves more work up front to figure out these equations, but pays off in performance, allowing your program to run faster or use more layers of noise for a higher quality result. Now that we have a tool to tell us how steep a point is, we can go ahead and implement this fake erosion trick. We start by generating the first layer, then finding the gradient at all the points we generated. The steeper the gradient is, the more we reduce the influence of this base layer. Specifically, we use this formula to give us 100% influence when the gradient tells us the layer is perfectly flat, but increasingly less influence as the gradient gets steeper. One of the parameters you can control here is how fast the gradient decreases the influence. Making this stronger makes this first layer pointier. You can also play around with different functions to adjust the shape of the influence, giving different shapes to the slopes of the terrain. Now that we've done this first layer, we can consider the next layer. We compute it and its gradients like before. But instead of just using that layer's gradients to erode that layer, we use the sum of that layer's gradients and the previous layer's gradients. This makes it so that areas that will become steeper when combined will be eroded more strongly than areas that will be flatter when combined.
Use your strength and crush that thing!
We continue adding additional layers, keeping a running sum of the gradients at each point, and using them to decide how much of the new layer to add in at each point. The final result looks like this. While we can agree it doesn't exactly look like erosion, it does look much more interesting than the plain fractal Perlin terrain. And that's ultimately what matters here. In computer graphics, we're in the business of making things look pretty, and I think this counts even if it's not perfectly accurate. The algorithm we've ended up with makes the individual layers have more interesting mountainy shapes, and also breaks up the monotony of the plane approach by producing different mixtures of the available layers at different points on the terrain. And since it's just a simple modification of the basic fractal Perlin algorithm.
Okay, so let's play with it. So I found that I find myself prototyping things in HLSL. Perlin gradient erosion. Because we could generate our mountains ahead of time. We've added the ability to do our own custom filters, basically. Whatever we can code, we could add into the displacement. I mean, whatever we can code, that's just it's not displacing in three directions, in three dimensions. It's just a height displacement, basically. But we can code whatever we want to do our own custom height displacements. this. This. Look for. Look for. Doot doot. Vec 3. Float 3. Doot. Doot 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 doot. Okay. Those derivatives, in that case, the weighted sum of the derivatives for each octave, as in you input a rich value, noise, or other variations. You can also easily drive the right way to combine the derivatives and shit. Alright. Just do it like this. Snag this guy. Now, vec 3, vec 3, float 3. And vec 4, float 4. Vec 2, float 2. Noise with float 3. Let's check. Okay, we do. God damn it. God damn it. Struct. Okay, I was wondering if it was going to complain about that. There we go. Back over to here. Fract. Okay. Okay, I see. All right. With this, you have like snow dunes that terminate into like Rocky Mountains on top, and then like icy shelves. So I want to try something. Uh, Try out this last one. does seem like our terrain like height map generation is on point. Alright, so did this finish yet? No. Only downside, it takes a long ass time to build this project now. But this whole planet generation saga is getting pretty close to being done. It's whenever I finish this, which obviously this takes a lot of work, but whenever I finish this, the it just start coming together pretty fast at that point. Because our first goal is we want one of these that we have like sliders and shit. We can toggle between planet types. We have built-in materials for each planet type. It all toggles around, right? And then as soon as we have something of that quality built, where all the sliders are set properly, you can't really fuck it up too bad. Then you proceduralize it. You basically go and randomize all the values within some acceptable ranges. We will yet? Come on, you can do it. Right, hang on, we can close down some of these. So I want to try adding volcanoes into this one using the the preprocessor. Just add like one layer of volcanoes, maybe two. Probably just one. Okay. Okay, this one's still a work in progress, it seems. So let's look at the trying some volcanoes on the lava planet. Should be easy. We can just come back over here. Planet actor, change it to molten. Gotta be this, this, this. Okay, so then planet noise. We can add an override pre-processing step to this as well. Create a definition here. now, should be able to come over here. So now we have a pre-process step doing this. Our molten noise doing this. So now if I rebuild, smash. Alright, so when I rebuild this, hopefully we'll have volcanoes generated with our little algorithm. We may have to mess with the curve function definitions for the volcanoes a little bit. Come on. So I think what is going on. Um, we do. So if I one minus this, you have to do like your own fractal with this, I think. So like effectively, hold up. We might actually be able to do this. So if I take this right here and I multiply it with this, but I instead of having the fractal here, we may not have to do, okay, if we can add volcanoes this way, we may change the way the rest of our noise formula works a little bit. But I think I'm actually onto something here. So hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. think that's really doing what I want it to be. This, on the other hand, hold on. It's like actually not too bad. Let's just do... Oops. Fuck. Alright, hold on. So we had a multiply, right? That makes a lot of sense. There it is. I think that might actually be sort of working. Maybe? Um, hmm. Very interesting. Hmm. Well, this is certainly kind of interesting. I don't know if I'll use it or not, but like, it does seem to get some nice features on the sides of cliff faces like this. So, how do I increase the effectiveness of this? I guess I could do like 0.5. I mean, this is kind of a cool effect in and of itself. But you need help. Hey, Teddy. Hey, gotta move, dude. Bite it. Hang on. There we go. All right, you did it. Hey, you did it. Alright, so we're going to use this node tree, which doesn't have the volcanoes carved out of the noise. And then we're going to use our preprocess here. And try to generate some volcanoes that way. So that would make this a lot easier. So that would make our noise formulas easier if we didn't have to worry about things like coming up with mountains, although whatever we write is probably not going to be as efficient as this. No, I can't because it's building. Okay, that's fine. He dead.
The outer world shows no mercy. But it's a big galaxy out there in a minute for Steve Wall.
Star Wars Outlaws, available August 30th.
M&T Bank has the knowledge and insight into our industry like no other bank does.
It just smells like rotten. That's all that I can say. And I'm not necessarily, I'm just saying what it smells like, alright? I'm not saying that I know for sure that that's what it is, or that it's just actually really old, or expired, or whatever, you know? All I can say is what it smells like. And it does not smell good. It's not like this garbage smell to it. And I drew the line here. I can't review it, and I'm not going to review it. I am not going to take a single bite of this. And maybe it's just a one-off instance, but I've gotten food poisoning enough in the last year. I've gotten it so many times, I just don't want to deal with it again. And this is one of those instances where my gut feeling is just screaming at me, just don't do it. Just don't take a bite of this. Throw it out.
Teddy, here, scoot back.
And yeah, I thought to myself, you're right, it isn't worth it. Like I said, I had food poisoning, and it makes me down for the count for days and days. And look, for a YouTube video, it's not worth it. And
All right, I had to hop up for a second. Let's see.
Potentially fatal brain infection cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection. Flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Antiviral relief.
Let's All right, so we can actually tune this.
So, those are just some questions that I have. What would you do to fix this? How would you save Arby's at this point? Because that's the point that I think we're at. I could already see the writing on the wall that the interest just wasn't really there, that the feedback was mostly negative. But this is the first time in 13 and a half years at this point that I refuse for the sake of the possibility, maybe getting something from this that I just can't. I can't take a bite when it smells like this. So I'm probably gonna reach out to Arby's direct to let them know about this because for the sake of everyone else out there, I cannot let this stand.
Bam. That's why.
But let me know. I'm sorry that this video had to be this way, but I can't in good faith do it. All I could say is that the Jamocha shake at least is edible, but it's more vanilla than, that sort of mocha coffee flavor, but at least that's consumable, and at least the fries, I guess, are edible to a degree. But sorry it had to be this way. And I hope, I sincerely, seriously hope that Arby's somehow can turn this around. Because this is dire straits for them, the way I see it. And I didn't want to sit here and bash them. I'm just stating the observations that I see, and I want to see them succeed. And I really hope they do. And I hope they can return to their former glory. I mean that. But they have problems right now, big problems. And I hope it's not too late, but maybe it is already. I've never been in a situation like this where I had to actually call off the review because of this. But here we are. I wouldn't even totally give this a score out of 10 just because I haven't tried it, but if you were to force me to give this, a score, I'd probably give it like a 0 out of 10, simply when something is so bad that, you can't even feel safe or comfortable eating it, but that's not even, that's not an official rating or anything, it's just pains me, it really does. Sometimes these negative reviews, it's like, it can sort of be entertaining, but this is that point where it's like, it's just sad. It's just sad. It's like where something's already down, and then it keeps getting worse. And it's like, no, you just don't want to see it. It's like, it gets to a point where it goes from entertaining to just sad and pathetic. And it's at that point right now. So, just remember those 3 questions. I really want to see some responses here. Is it just me? Am I in like the depths of fast food hell or something? And it's just some sort of curse on all the Arby's in my area? Or are you noticing something similar? Are the ones near you, are they hopping? Do people still go there? Are they empty? Are they closing? Quality-wise? And again, if you think that they're in dire straits, let's say if you're in charge, how would you fix it? I'd really love to see as many comments as possible, and I want to know what you think. But I hope you understand why I made the call that I did, because, heck, maybe it just smells really bad, and maybe I would be fine if I tried it out, but I cannot do this to myself. Like I said, I've been through this too many times in the last year even that I can't do it. I refuse, and I'm sorry. So, hate that it had to be this way, but that's all that there really is to it. On a final note, in addition to these videos and reviews I do, I also do a podcast and a radio show. But admittedly, the podcast and the radio show, it needs your help. It needs your support to stay on the air, to keep going. And I run a Patreon page just for that purpose. So please check that if you're interested. Patreon.com/report of the week. Link is in the pinned comment. Just check it out. Look, the show, the radio show, and the podcast needs your help. It really does. And maybe check out the Patreon. Any support is really much appreciated. And if you do want to support what I do, though, with the radio show and the podcast, You can access exclusive content, thousands of hours of audio work, podcasts, and radio shows that I do. So just please check it out. In the podcast, I talk about whatever's on my mind, and on radio, talk about whatever's on my mind too. Talk about some stuff going on in the world, in life, play some music. It's just a fun, laid-back show. But like I said, they need your help. And check out the Patreon page if you're interested. Again, patreon.com/the report of the week. The link's in the pinned comment below and in the description as well.
I mean, I did get a ram spell, so I can't say much, I guess, right? I mean, I guess I can't. I mean, I can't be begging for anything. But this is our worst matchup. Is just this, you know, this fucking red deck. Roxanne's ram spell, removal spell, kill spell, whatever. Yeah. I hate mono red. But this is your worst matchup. If you under all time explosions, it's kind of hard to win. Not kind of hard. It's hard to win. Unless you like don't explode from Earth mana as well. Yeah, we need a green Wrath of God. Can you imagine if they color shifted Wrath of God to green? Sick. Much dead. If I target this thing, whenever a creature you control becomes target of a vulnerability upon control, put a counter on target creature you control other than that creature. So what? Shoot this and go and then take a lane from here. Yeah. Oh god, that card is nuts. Double strike. Am I dead? 12? Yeah, I'm just dead, right? I hope you liked Ambercleave, because it's back for 2 mana. Alright, well. I guess Ambercleave was 2 mana as well. So yeah, Ambercleave's back. It's probably my favorite Sand deck at the moment I've seen. Have you seen other decks? That's really cool. They're also really cool. I don't know why was it the worst hands. Okay. Womp womp. You okay? No, you're fine. As long as you're okay, it's fine. Just make sure you're okay. No, don't apologize. You're fine. As long as you're okay, you're fine. Hopefully draw. Oh my god. I just need to, like, I'm playing fuck a heap harvest or a goddamn explosion or glimpse the core. Whatever. Wow. Nice timing. Thank you so much for the harvest after the fact. Great. No, we're dead. Right. It's like probably million damage or something. Stupid. Does it double counter or something? Yeah, we're dead. Yep. One ram spell, we could have actually been fine there because we could have wove. Ooh. Yeah, red is just kind of bad for us, which is why you can't play like mess one. Asma, you just redeem a 6-minute YouTube video. Everybody laughed my ass off. Aren't you the one that told me the Swifty joke?
Nabil Khalil is the owner of Bouquet Plaza Liquor in Santa Clarita, California. And every day, he deals with a problem that has vexed liquor store owners for years.
We always have a teenager trying to come and buy alcohol. We always refuse the sale.
But as far as I'm concerned, no business should ever have to turn away a paying customer.
Oh,
so I
God.
paid Nabil a visit to help him out. Every time you turn away a teenager who's trying to buy alcohol, you're losing a sale.
Yes, because that's what the law is.
So from now on, you allow them to purchase it, but they just can't take it home until they're 21.
Wow.
The main reason teenagers want booze is to look cool to their friends. So if Nabil let minors purchase alcohol but then held it in a storage locker until their 21st birthday, Bouquet Plaza Liquor would gain a ton of new underage customers who could then brag to their friends that they own booze. The plan? Increase business by selling alcohol to minors.
Could be possible, but when you get close to that age, definitely you don't want a voucher that says, oh yes, I own a couple bars of liquor, but where they are. So they want to have it.
Well, no offense, but you know, I'm a bit closer to my teenage years than you are. So I think I know what youth these days want.
If they get the happiness of, yes, I have it, that would be great.
With Nabil on board, I created some tags